This is example 5. Check understanding 5 on page 35. Okay, this is another absolute value inequality. And there's two things about this problem. Number one, this will be an absolute value less than, which is different than the absolute value greater than that we just saw. And also, before we can do anything to break down this absolute value, we notice that the absolute value is not isolated. So we need to take a step to isolate the absolute value. In this case, let's add 7 to both sides. So now we have absolute value of 5z plus 3 is less than 41. Okay. Now, these are the steps to break down an absolute value less than, and it's different than the absolute value greater than. You could try to deal with it like you do an absolute value greater than, but it's not my recommendation. So we're saying whatever is in this expression, in the absolute values here, must be less than 41, which means on the number line, it must be to the left of 41. But actually, if it was between 0 and negative 41, if the value of this expression is between 0 and negative 41, when I take the absolute value, it would be between 0 and positive 41, and that solves the equation, or the inequality. So this is actually okay until I get to negative 41. Right? At negative 41, the absolute value is positive 41, and it's not less than 41 anymore. So we're okay with anything in between negative 41 and positive 41. And the way we break this down then is like this. We're going to say negative 41 is less than 5z plus 3 is less than positive 41. It's a three-part inequality, which we really haven't dealt with so far. And you just need to get used to it. It's not that hard. If you try to go the other way and turn this into a compound inequality tied together with an and, you're going to find yourself making a lot of mistakes. So to solve a three-part inequality, you need to isolate the variable, in this case z, in the middle of the inequality. Right? This z is being multiplied times 5, and 3 is being added to the term. So the first step is I'm going to subtract 3 to isolate z. Now, I need to do the same thing to all three parts of the inequality. Since it's a three-part inequality, I've got to subtract 3 from all three parts. So this is negative 44 is less than 5z is less than 38. Okay. Now, I still have an isolated z, so I divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. And this gives me negative 44 over 5 is less than z is less than 38 over 5. And in terms of putting it on a number line, you could go like this. Clearly 38 over 5 is to the right. And minus 44 over 5 is to the left. It's open circle on both of those. And shaded in the middle. So notice this now. An absolute value less than looks like that. And let's go back one slide and notice the absolute value greater than looks like this. Right? Those are the signatures of the absolute value less than or greater than. So if you have to solve something at the absolute value greater than, you know what the solution is going to look like. If you have to solve an absolute value less than, you know what the solution is going to look like. Right. Make sure that you understand the example above this in the text, example 5.